My boyfriend hurt my dad's feelings after he said he must be glad his job as a dad was finally over now that I'd graduated from college, and when I tried to get him to apologize, he told me to prioritize his first love because my dad was getting too emotional. So I, 19F, just graduated from college early, yay me. My family is super close-knit, especially my dad and I. He's a single dad who basically gave up everything to raise me. Like, this man worked 2 jobs when I was in high school, so I could do extracurriculars and not worry about anything. We're tight. Anyway, I've been dating Jake, 22M, for about 8 months. He's funny, a bit sarcastic, and usually great to be around. We've had ups and downs, but nothing major until last week. My dad threw me a small graduation dinner. Just close family and a couple of my best friends. Jake was going to be invited, but the day before the dinner, he came over to help me pick an outfit and ended up chatting with my dad. I wasn't in the room the whole time, but I heard them laughing at first, then voices got lower. Later, when Jake left, my dad pulled me aside and said, "I don't like how he talks to me." I asked what happened, and apparently Jake had said something like, "You must be glad your job as a dad is finally over," in a joking way. My dad apparently just smiled and changed the subject, but I could tell it really hurt him. He's sensitive about that kind of stuff, and honestly, so am I. When I texted Jake about it, he doubled down and said my dad was being too emotional and that it's not that deep. That rubbed me the wrong way. My dad has never asked for anything, and this dinner was a big deal for him. So I made the choice to not invite Jake. I didn't tell him until the day of, and he blew up saying I was choosing my dad over him and that I'm immature for ghosting him for a stupid dinner. I told him he needed to apologize to my dad first before being welcomed around my family again. He said I'm being dramatic and that my dad needs to grow up. So, now he's barely speaking to me, and some of my friends are split. A couple say I did the right thing, others think I should have still let him come and talked it out after. Commenter 1. You're a college graduate now. You've outgrown an immature boy like Jake. He was fun for a time, but you can do better. Commenter 2. The fact that he won't apologize or even acknowledge his obnoxious comments is a real problem. I think you're starting to see that Jake is manipulative, jealous, and controlling. Update. I didn't think this would get much attention, but thanks for all the responses. I read a lot of them, even the brutally honest ones. Lol. A bunch of people asked for an update, so here we go. So after the whole graduation dinner situation, I gave Jake some space. I thought maybe he just needed time to cool off and think things through. I was still upset, but I genuinely hoped he'd come around, maybe even reach out to apologize to my dad. He didn't. Instead, the day after the dinner, he posted some cryptic gig story. Like black screen, white text, classic drama saying something like some people value performative loyalty over real love. Okay, philosopher. I ignored it. But then, my cousin, who was at the dinner and follows Jake, messaged me asking if everything was okay, because apparently Jake was replying to comments under that story with eye roll emojis whenever someone mentioned family or dads. At that point, I was like, what are we doing here? So I texted him one more time. I said, hey, I need to know where you stand. If you still think what you said wasn't a big deal and you don't want to apologize, then maybe this just isn't going to work. He read it. Didn't reply. Left me on read for 3 days. Then, out of nowhere, he sent me this long paragraph saying I clearly have unresolved daddy issues, and that he should have known I'd always prioritize the first man in my life over any future ones. Y'all. My jaw was on the floor. Not only was that wildly disrespectful, it proved exactly why I made the right choice. I told him we were done. Blocked his number. Told my friends what he said, and even the ones who thought I was being too harsh before were like, yeah, no, he sucks. And my dad? He didn't even know half of this was happening, but when I told him, in a very PG way, he just said, you deserve someone who respects all of you, including where you come from. Anyway. Single now. Degree in hand. Peace restored. And my dad and I went out for pancakes the next morning and laughed about how I almost invited a man who beefs with father figures to a family dinner. Thanks for the advice, Reddit. Some of y'all saved me from wasting more time. Commenter 1. Lol. This man somehow thinks having a healthy relationship with your father equals unresolved daddy issues? Good riddance. He's asking like at 19 you suddenly don't need your parents anymore, which is just stupid. I'm twice your age and I still need my parents sometimes. Commenter 2. His original comment was incorrect, but seemingly not mean-spirited, and an understandable mistake from a non-parent. In that sense, someone else would be entitled to call it no big deal. But in literally every step after that, it sounds like he's made the wrong choice, and shown who he truly is.